Hello, my name is Lily.
And my name is Max.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Fluent Hub. I'm so happy you're here with us today. This is the place where we make English simple, fun, and easy to understand.
Hey! Great to see all of you again. And if this is your first time joining us, welcome to the family. You picked a great episode to start with.
You really did. I was thinking about this topic the other day. I was helping my younger cousin with her English homework, and she kept asking me, wait, when do I use do and when do I use does? And honestly, it made me realize that so many learners struggle with this exact thing.
Oh, totally. And then you throw did into the mix and people just go, okay, I give up. But don't give up because that's exactly why we're here today. Today's topic is how to use do, does, and did in English.
Yes! And by the end of this episode, you're going to feel so much more confident using these three words. You'll know when to use do, when to use does, and when to use did in questions, in negative sentences, and in everyday conversation.
We're going to break it all down step by step with lots of examples, practice activities, and tips to help you sound natural. So grab a notebook if you have one, or just listen carefully and repeat along with us. Before we jump in, we have a question for you. Do you know when to use do and when to use does? Tell us in the comments right now. Even if you're not sure, just write what you think. We love reading your answers. And if you're enjoying Talk Fluent Hub, please click the like button and subscribe. It really helps us keep making these free English lessons for you. Okay, let's get started.
All right, let's start with the basics. Do and does are what we call auxiliary verbs. That's a fancy term, but it just means they're helper verbs. They help us make questions and negative sentences in the present tense.
Exactly. So think of them like assistants. The main verb does the real work, but do and does help it make sense in a question or a negative sentence.
Now, here's the most important rule, and this is the rule you need to remember. We use do with I, you, we, and they. And we use does with he, she, and it. That's it. That's the whole rule.
Let me give you some examples. I do my homework every day. You do a great job. We do our best. They do a lot of traveling. So all of these use do because the subjects are I, you, we, and they.
Now with does, he does his laundry on Sundays. She does yoga in the morning. My phone does something weird sometimes. Do you hear the difference? He, she, and it always does.
Now, let's talk about questions. The formula is really simple. To make a yes-no question in the present tense, we use do or does plus subject plus base verb. And base verb means the simple form. No S at the end, no ing, just the plain verb.
So, for example, do you like coffee? Do they speak English? Do we need to leave now? All questions with I, you, we, they. We use do. And on the other side, does he work here? Does she know the answer? Does it hurt? He, she, it. We use does. Here's something really important that a lot of learners get wrong. When you use does in a question, the main verb does not get an S. So it's not does she works here? It is does she work here? Because does already has the third person signal. The verb stays in its base form. Oh, that's such a good point. I remember making that mistake when I was learning too. I used to say things like, does he likes pizza? And my teacher would gently correct me every time. So just remember, does plus base verb, not does plus verb with S.
Okay, let's practice. I want you to say these answers out loud. Ready? Question 1. Blank, she play tennis. What's the answer? Does she play tennis? Question 2. Blank, they have a car. That's do they have a car? Try to say them out loud wherever you are.
Now, let's talk about negative sentences. The formula for negatives is just as simple. Subject plus do or does plus not plus base verb. In spoken English, we almost always contract these. Do not becomes don't, and does not becomes doesn't.
So, I don't drink tea. You don't have to come. We don't understand the question. They don't live here anymore. And with doesn't, he doesn't like spicy food. She doesn't work on weekends. It doesn't matter. Do you feel the pattern? It's really consistent once you practice it a few times.
One more thing before we move on. Do and does can also be used in short answers. For example, do you like this show? Yes, I do. Or does he speak French? No, he doesn't. These short answers sound very natural in everyday English. Great job, everyone. So to review this first section, do goes with I, you, we, they. Does goes with he, she, it. Use them to make questions and negatives in the present tense. And always remember, after does, the main verb stays in its base form. Coming up next, we're going to look at how to use did for things that happened in the past. Okay, now we're moving into the past tense, and this is where things get really interesting and actually easier than you might think. We use did for past tense questions and negatives. And the great news, it works for all subjects. I, you, he, she, it, we, they all use did.
That's right. No more choosing between do and does when you're talking about the past. It's just did. One word for everyone. So the present tense has two helpers, do and does. The past tense has just one, did. Much simpler.
The formula for past questions is did plus subject plus base verb. And again, base verb, not the past tense form. This is really important. We don't say, did you went to school? We say, did you go to school? The verb goes back to its base form when did is in the sentence. Let me give you lots of examples. Did you eat breakfast this morning? Did she call you last night? Did he finish his homework? Did they arrive on time? Did it rain yesterday? Did we miss the meeting? All of these use did plus subject plus base verb. And it's the same for negative sentences in the past tense. We use subject plus did plus not plus base verb, or in the contracted form, didn't. So I didn't go to the party. She didn't know about the meeting. They didn't finish the project on time. We didn't see that movie. I love this part because didn't sounds so natural. It's one of the most common contractions in English conversation. You'll hear it all the time. I didn't know. She didn't want to. He didn't say that. They didn't come. It's everywhere. Now, let's compare formal and informal usage. In formal writing or formal speaking, you might want to use the full form, did not. For example, the company did not meet its goals this quarter, or he did not attend the meeting. These sound more serious and professional.
But in everyday conversation, you almost always use didn't. It sounds much more natural. If you say, I did not want to go to a friend, it can sound a little strange or even a little dramatic, like you're being very serious about something. So with friends, just say, I didn't want to go.
Okay, here's a quick practice activity. I'm going to say a sentence in the positive form, and I want you to change it to a question using did. Ready? First, she went to the gym. Now make it a question. The answer is, did she go to the gym? Notice went becomes go because we use the base form with did.
Let's do another one. They finished their dinner. Now make it a negative sentence. The answer is, they didn't finish their dinner. Or if we want to ask a question, did they finish their dinner? Perfect! Write your own example in the comments. Pick any past tense sentence and turn it into a question with did. Here's a tip for remembering the base verb rule. Think of it this way. Did already carries all the past tense information. It's already doing the job, so the main verb doesn't need to change. It can relax and stay in its simple base form. Only one of them needs to show the past tense, and that's did. Also, just like with do and does, we can use did in short answers. Did you enjoy the food? Yes, I did. Did she call back? No, she didn't. These short answers are very common in natural conversation. Just remember, don't say, yes, I did it, because that's not a word. It's always, yes, I did, or no, I didn't. So to review section 2, did is used for the past tense with all subjects. Always use the base form of the verb after did, and use didn't for negative sentences in the past. Okay, now we're going to explore something that even intermediate learners sometimes don't know about. Did you know that do, does, and did can also be used for emphasis? This is a really cool and very natural feature of English. Yes, this one always surprises people. We're used to thinking of do, does, and did as just helpers for questions and negatives, but they can also add emphasis to a positive sentence. When you really want to stress that something is true, you use them. Here's how it works. Instead of just saying, I like your idea, you can say, I do like your idea. That emphasis on do tells the listener, I'm really serious. I really mean this. Or instead of, she works hard, you can say, she does work hard. It adds weight to the sentence. And with the past, instead of I enjoyed the concert, you can say, I did enjoy the concert. Maybe someone doubted you or you're trying to convince them. Adding did makes it more powerful. It sounds natural and genuine. Let me give you some really everyday scenarios. Imagine you and a friend are talking. Your friend says, I don't think you care about this, and you want to correct them. You can say, I do care about this very much. That do carries real emotion and sincerity. Or imagine your boss says, I don't think this employee tries hard enough, and your coworker defends you by saying, she does try hard. She's always the last one to leave the office. That does is defending you and emphasizing the truth. Another everyday use, apologizing or reassuring someone. For example, I know you're worried, but I do understand your concern. Or, I know I forgot last time, but I did call you back eventually. These phrases sound very sincere and genuine. English speakers use this all the time. Now, here's a tip for sounding more natural. When you use do, does, or did for emphasis in spoken English, you stress that word a little more. You say it with a bit more volume or energy. I do want to come. She does know. He did call. The emphasis is in the voice, not just the word. Let's also talk about one more special use, using do as a main verb, not just a helper. In this case, do means to perform or complete an action. Like, I do my homework. She does the dishes. They did the work. In these sentences, do isn't helping another verb, it is the main verb. Some common phrases where do is the main verb: do the laundry, do your homework, do your best, do a favor, do the dishes, do exercise, do business, do research. These are very common in everyday English, and they follow the same do, does, did rules. She does the laundry. He did his homework last night.
Okay, mini practice. I want you to try using emphasis. Say these sentences out loud and put strong stress on the do, does, or did. Ready? First, I believe you. Now add emphasis. I do believe you. Second, she understands. Now she does understand. Third, we tried. Now we did try. Practice saying these out loud. Stress is really important in English. Write one of your own emphasis sentences in the comments. Tell us something you really believe or something you really did, and use do, does, or did for emphasis. We love reading your creative examples. To review section 3, do, does, and did can add emphasis to positive sentences. They can also act as the main verb, meaning to perform an action. And when speaking, stress the word to make the emphasis clear.
All right, this is my favorite section, common mistakes. And I'm going to be honest with you, both of us have made every single one of these mistakes before, so no judgment here. We're just going to look at them, understand why they happen, and fix them. That's the spirit. Let's start with mistake number 1. This is probably the most common one we see, adding an S to the main verb after does. The mistake sounds like, does she likes chocolate? Does he works at a bank? So what's wrong with does she likes chocolate? The problem is that does is already doing the third person singular job. When you say does, the verb like does not need to change. It stays as like. The correct sentence is, does she like chocolate? Does he work at a bank? One verb changes, and that's does, not the main verb. Think of it like a seesaw. When does goes up, the S on the main verb comes down. So instead of she likes in a statement, when you turn it into a question with does, the verb loses its S. Does she like, not does she likes. Practice saying it. Does she like? Does he work? Does it help? Mistake number 2, using the past form of the verb after did. This sounds like, did you went to school? Did they finished the project? Did she called you? And this is such an easy mistake to make because the sentence is about the past, so your brain wants to use a past verb. But remember, did is already handling the past tense for you, so the main verb relaxes and stays in its base form. The correct versions are, did you go to school? Did they finished the project? Did she call you? Just the simple plain verb. Mistake number 3, leaving out the auxiliary verb when making questions. This sounds like, you like coffee? She know the answer? They finish the work? Now, in some languages, you can make questions just by changing the intonation, the way your voice rises. But in English, we need the helper verb in most situations.
In very casual texting or spoken conversation, you might sometimes hear English speakers say, you comin'? Or she know? But these are very informal shortcuts, and it's much better to use the full question form, especially as a learner. The correct forms are, do you like coffee? Does she know the answer? Did they finish the work?
Mistake number 4, mixing up don't and doesn't in negative sentences. For example, he don't like it, she don't understand, they doesn't want to come.
Remember the rule. Doesn't goes with he, she, and it. Don't goes with I, you, we, they. So he doesn't like it. She doesn't understand. And for the last one, they don't want to come. It takes some practice to make this automatic, but once it clicks, you'll always get it right. Here's a little trick to help you remember. If the subject ends in a consonant sound, like he, she, it, think of doesn't as also ending in a strong T sound. They kind of match in energy. And don't pairs with subjects that feel more open or plural. You, we, they. Go ahead and try fixing these sentences in the comments. 1, does she works here? 2, did you went home? 3, he don't like spicy food. 4, did they finished eating? Write the correct versions and we'll tell you if you got them right. Mistakes are totally normal. Every single English speaker has made these. The key is to keep practicing until it becomes automatic.
Okay, it's time for our favorite part of the episode, the interactive practice. This is called Choose the Correct Sentence. I'm going to give you 2 sentences and you have to pick the correct one. Say your answer out loud. Don't just think it, say it.
Great, let's go. Situation 1, you want to ask your friend about her weekend plans. Option A, does she go to the beach tomorrow? Option B, does she going to the beach tomorrow?
The correct answer is option A. Does she go to the beach tomorrow? Option B has going after does, which is not correct. After does, we always use the base verb, go, not going. Great start.
Situation 2, you want to talk about what happened last night. Option A, did you eat dinner last night? Option B, did you ate dinner last night?
Option A is correct. Did you eat dinner last night? Ate is the past tense of eat, but we don't use it after did. Did already tells us it's the past, so the verb stays in its base form. Eat, not ate.
Situation 3, you want to say your friend is wrong. You do like the movie. Option A, I like the movie. Option B, I do like the movie. Which one uses emphasis?
Both are grammatically correct, but option B, I do like the movie, adds emphasis. It's stronger, more convincing, and more emotional. When you want to express that something is really true, the emphasis form with do is perfect.
Situation 4, you want to ask about your colleague. Option A, he don't work on Fridays. Option B, he doesn't work on Fridays.
Option B is correct. He doesn't work on Fridays. Remember, with he, we always use doesn't, not don't. This is one of the most common mistakes, so really lock this rule into your memory.
Situation 5, your friend is making a past negative sentence. Option A, we didn't went to the party. Option B, we didn't go to the party.
Option B, we didn't go to the party. After didn't, the verb stays in its base form. Went is the past tense of go, but we don't use it with didn't. This is the same rule we've talked about. The auxiliary verb didn't carries the past tense, so the main verb can stay simple. Excellent work, everyone. Now here's your challenge. Write 3 original sentences using do, does, or did. 1 question, 1 negative, and 1 emphasis sentence. Post them in the comments. Be creative. Don't worry about being perfect. Just try. Real communication is always better than perfect silence. Wow, what a fantastic episode! I am so proud of everyone who followed along today. You just covered one of the most important grammar topics in the English language, and you did it! Let's do a quick recap of everything we learned. Perfect! Here are the 3 big takeaways from today. Number 1, in the present tense, use do with I, you, we, and they, and does with he, she, and it. They help make questions and negatives. Number 2, in the past tense, use did with all subjects. Always follow it with the base form of the verb. Number 3, you can use do, does, and did for emphasis in positive sentences, and they can also work as main verbs on their own. You've worked so hard today, and you should feel really good about that. Every time you practice, your English gets a little bit stronger. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. Even if you make mistakes, that means you're trying, and trying is everything. Here's a little reflection question for you. Think about a conversation you had today. Did you use do, does, or did? Maybe without even realizing it. Write your answer or your example sentence in the comments. We genuinely love reading what you write. And if this lesson helped you even a little bit, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps Talk Fluent Hub reach more learners just like you. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss one of our episodes. We put so much love into making these lessons for you. You are doing an amazing job learning English. It's not always easy, but you're here, you're learning, and that's what counts. We're so happy to be on this journey with you. Thank you so much for spending this time with us at Talk Fluent Hub. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself. We'll see you next time.